Hey everyone, welcome to I think my second stream. So tiny bit more organised this time, but um, basically just gonna have a bit of fun and do a bit of designing on stream. Just so thought it'd be a good opportunity for people who are interested in this stuff to have a watch along. Um, so just to let you know the plans for today. Um, so you see here, this is a version of my, I guess, Gen 2 single cell scaffolding shulker farm. I'm sure if you're watching, you've probably seen it already. Um, I think this is quite fun just to watch it go in the background, watch the shulkers go up. So by the way, this is a reactor design from HF147. Quite a nice little design, and at one point I thought reactors were probably going to be the meta, so to speak, of single dimension farms, but actually, it turns out just by stacking a bunch of shulkers on the side of a regular farm, actually that's a much easier way, a much cheaper way of boosting rates. Um, yeah, I'll just leave those in the background when I describe what we're going to do today. So this is a V2 of my farm, and since then, since I sort of did the redesigning for this, there's been a fair amount of new stuff that's been found. In particular, um, one thing that's very nice is armor stand tech. So, oops, I've seen it before. You saw my video about Dark's design. Basically, you put a you can't see it. You've got to sit on the block. If you had the shulker poke its head into an armor stand, basically, for some reason I don't know exactly why actually, but armor stands just delete bullets. So as long as that shulker's behind the armor stand, he can't get hit until he starts to poke his head past. And with this alignment, obviously, you know, he's got to poke his head quite far out to get past the armor stand, but normally you just put the armor stand here and push it towards the edge of the block. Anyway, go watch that video if you're interested, but basically, it's a way of making sure the shulker can't get hit before it's fully open. Can I make a random number generator from a shulker full teleporting the farm? You could, yeah. Let's go to the board. So, this is the main thing, is can we make a new star design with using the armor stand tech? And the interesting thing is, my previous design has a shulker sitting underneath the block, and the bullets coming along. Has the bullets coming along here, like this. But actually, with the armor stand, what we want to do is have the shulker on the side of the block there. I mean, you don't have to do it this way. There's other ways of doing it, but this is the simplest. And then, so it's actually a moving of the shulker, which means you have to move quite a lot of things because you have to align the scaffolding floors with the shulker. So the main thing, yes, is armor stands. Other stuff, obviously as well, yeah. So if you're using armor stands, then actually detection starts to be a bit more complicated. So yeah, we probably won't do this, but it'd be nice to maybe have a look at using external aggro engine in a single dimension farm. And as well, actually, one thing I've been playing around with here, which is quite a strange mechanism, but this is okay. Fine. Where did that? This is down Excel restocking. It just cuts down the restocking time from whatever it is, 15 seconds to about 4 seconds. Most of which is the detection. Which, given that this farm over here restocks about once every minute. It's not quite 15 seconds, but it's like 7 or 8 seconds that it waits for the shulker to drop down. So actually having down excel restocking could get you an extra few hundred shells now. So, but the other nice things I want is basically at the moment, if you take one of this farm and you take another one and stick them on sort of back to back, um, your rates are you don't double your rates. Uh, you don't even improve the rates. You just end up with something that's like 900 shells an hour with 2 farms. Um, so yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done to make sure that you can actually tile this design, and it probably won't be very tileable. You probably only be able to fit about 4 in one area, but it'd be nice to have something to look into. Um, so I did some messing around with trying to get the thing working tileable. So one thing to be nice is at the moment what happens. We have a teleport set up. Now, when we had to restock the shulker, see what happens is this trapdoor here, you're going to see this trapdoor flip up, which is going to block the line of sight from the golem to the minecart. There we go, look. That's quite a long restock. And that's for trash rabbit prevention. If you hit the shulker while it's still moving in a cart or something, you get trash rabbits. So the nice thing as well is we have the golem instead of having aggro on the shulker, in which case every time the shulker turns the way, the golem will go and then retarget, which is just a complete pain. It slows down the farm massively. The problem is that we use the trapdoor to completely block off the line of sight of the golem. If they stop targeting the endermite, so actually we can probably simulate this by if I turn this off so the golems can't see anymore. So eventually they're going to lose target. Now what we're going to see now is they're not shooting at the endermite anymore, they're shooting at the shulker. You can see that's much slower. So what I want to happen is instead of blocking off the line of sight to the golem completely, stop them from hitting the shulker rather than breaking their target. So I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, that means that you can then not only do you benefit from not having this situation of drill, it means that you can close this trapdoor for a long period of time, which is what you need to do if you want to have multiple restocking, because the main problem is when the shulker in one cell is replaced, because new shulkers getting hit so often, they're shulker aggroing the area around them, which is causing the cell, the shulkers in the adjacent cell while they're being restocked to get aggroed, and that's what causes trash muppets, and that's why everything breaks. And yeah, the detection system on this is looking a bit unreliable. We're seeing some shulkers get replaced when they don't need to be, which is not a huge deal, but anyway. My game sounds still high. There we go. Oh yeah, and then as I said, this is what you need to do is when you restock, you've got to lock out everything. So I think the first thing to do is let's just turn this back up because I think it was just because it was over there. Shulkers killed in this world. It won't be that high. Where is it? Statistics. Oh, spread. Damage dealt. Let's have a look. Isn't it about 7,000? Snow golems are pretty high. And then who else? Zombie piglins, yeah, they're a pain. And termites. Let's just make this a bit higher. So let's just start planning out what the kind of cell we want. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So if you look now, the armor stand is now pushed up against the end of this block, and so it's got a this is where it needs to be to protect a shulker. And now we put a shulker here. Of course, it's going to set up right. A couple of different things we can do. The easiest is just to do this for now. Okay, and then yeah, let's do the dark cell design. Okay. I really need to get a proper hotbar set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this cell over here. So if we notice, if I go and flip this trapdoor, I'm not sure this is aligned completely, but basically the golem fires down to this corner, and actually this setup was Dark came up with this setup. Even though it looks like it can't hit the shulker, actually because the projectile hitbox only detects when actually the center of the projectile hits the block, whereas the shulker yeah, MD, if you send me at some point, I'll might have a look at that. But anyway, so because the snowball will only detect that it hits the block when the center actually hits the block, but the entity, the shulker, will detect that it's been hit by a snowball if any part of the snowball hits it. Actually, even if the snowball gets here, so slightly here, it's not hitting this block here, but it is actually hitting the shulker. So that's my understanding anyway. Let's go turn this guy off. But actually the problem here is, because what I was saying I want to do is I don't think this works anyway. I'm not going to be able to fit an endermite in here, but that's not the biggest deal. Yeah, you can put it's a little bit annoying putting trapdoors in the golem because you've got to place the golem. But yeah, that will turn the farm on and off. Will it? Let me just check. Oops. And yeah, I don't know why I just keep this on the hotbar so I don't have to make a new name tag every time. Right, so you can't actually see that. Is this because I've been an idiot? No. Ah, okay. So that will stop the golem from firing. Now what we need is one. Can't stand the snow. Should set everything to a biome where snow can't form. Let's have a look at this then. Oops, I messed up here. Okay. Now, this is the big question. No, he still can't see that. Okay. Yeah, I need to make better use of my tools. So what I'm trying to do here is find a way to have a switch for the to stop the so the golem can still so that the golem can still see the what's it called, but that he can't shoot, if that makes sense. MD. He's ND. Okay, fine. Let's do that then. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it than like this, but I don't think I can actually name him. No. Anyway, next one will be MD. So it looks kind of unavoidable. There's going to have to be something with like pistons or. The other option is. Yeah, we don't need this for now. Yeah, I know I can set blocks, but we want MD, don't we? Okay. Okay, that's just weird. So it's definitely, it is hitting this then. So this would actually be. Now we can do this, I think. Okay, moving on. Okay, you can't see it. Okay, so technically this works. So this can control the on-off switch for the farm. And then this stops the shulker, so let's just test this actually works. Don't see why it wouldn't. And as soon as we undo that. Nice. Oh yeah, good point. That's a much better idea. Let's just keep that for now. The problem is endermites seem to have a very strange. let's just see if he ever despawns. Because they can be funny about that. I don't get their AI as well. Sometimes they'll just sit there doing nothing. Okay. So I guess the only question here is there a better way of doing this? And I'm sure there is, but let's just stick with this for now. So shulkers sit here. Now what we need is a British spelling. Let's just get rid of that guy. Yeah, I know this is going to be a complete pain. That should be fine. We still are, okay. Right. Yeah, okay, you can't beat a 0-2. I don't know what I was thinking. Turn block, right. Yeah, I need Tweakaroo. Okay, there we go. In fact, this really should be a slab. Let's just leave this like this. And now what we want here is... I know this is a strange colour scheme. Let's try for now with pressure plate based detection. It's a bit annoying, but and also we can put that there as well. Okay. You're gonna kill my gun. Oh well, don't care. Yeah, okay, so he does activate that. The good thing is the anything to watch out for. Put that guy there. Yeah, okay, so the bullets don't activate at all. Now, the issue I've had with this sort of thing in the past is, hey Fred. Basically, you've now got to get the shulker into this block, and you want to kind of do it in a way that he goes there initially. So I'm not very good. I don't remember very well the cart Because another thing I want to do as well is instead of eject the shulker with an activator rail and have it come back, actually we can just have the minecart go into like a lava cauldron or something, and because we can do this. So I used this previously, and what happens is when the cart snaps that rail, it just pops up because it feels like it's intersected with the cauldron. You just have the hoppers underneath to collect it. But rather than having a activator rail to eject the shulker directly into the chamber, and then have the minecart go on to an ejector system, to just combine them and have a single point where the minecart goes yeets, and then so after we do it, I forgot it that. Let's just do some powered rail just in case. Hi. Let's grab this polished plate. Right. So if we put a cart here, so right, if we know the shulker, we just put a cart here. The cart will basically, once it gets here, it will snap onto these rails and get broken. If it's got a shulker in it, gets broken, but it will also eject the shulker. So yeah, the boat tech's quite fun. Problem is you've got the shulker in the cart already. You're not going to move it into a boat and then you might as well just do it in one step. The other thing is you want the cart to basically be safe. So, and I want to avoid this being directional as much as possible. But that might be unavoidable because where stuff gets out of rails is kind of directional. So. That time it went there. So if you see it picks the right side over the left, at least in that case. Yeah, I think it always picks the right side over the left. Which is fine, because I think we can just... Yeah, okay, so once you get to that point, then if all these are done... Okay, so it won't ever go here. So I wonder how this works. So it thinks the cart's facing this way. So what happens if we do... Now this is the other thing I wanted to do. Which is rail snapping. So if we put a cart here, and we break these rails. So you might have seen Mango's video on this recently. Not whole video, but in Mango's video he uses rail snapping. So, and that's nice because it means you've only got to worry about this block. You don't really have to worry about this block. And basically, as soon as the shulker enters this block, it's going to snap that rail. Okay. So let's just get rid of these again. Okay, so that time it does go there. Oh, that's interesting. we? And let's guess this one's going to go here next, right? And then here. And yeah, right. And then do we put this one here? Is that consistent? Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Now why does it do... It doesn't ever do that this way, but if the cart's coming down from here, it will put the shulker on top here, which is quite interesting. And let me guess, it's going to go here. So let's just... so that one's obviously tried to put the shulker somewhere where it doesn't like it. Maybe we can see exactly where that was. No, okay, there's too many spots around. It's going to be one tick teleport. Now the question is, why is it that... Oh yeah, this is interesting. We can put rails on cauldrons. Right, let's actually put this down. Yeah, actually, let's actually do it this way then. Okay, so it's gone to the left. Now, I think we're going to get an issue here just because... Yeah, okay, so I think it's trying to put it down there. Right, so just to verify that. Yeah, okay. So let's just make a little thing here. So let's make a rail, and the rail's moving in this direction. Now, I could be wrong here. I think I remember, so it'll be like 1, 2... is it 3 here? 4, 5, 6. So try something in that pattern. Now the question is... Okay, so it will try this one. Okay. But if we break one of these, so that would be the last one there. So if you're wondering why I'm spending time looking at rail ejection, it's because we want to get this shulker in here nicely. And actually, I've done it a couple of times before. In fact, we look over here. This was my previous design. So the cart goes through this hole. And it lands on the soul sand, and obviously, as I've shown you, the soul sand's not quite so high. So what happens is, when minecarts are a certain distance away from the rail, they will just snap to the rail, and as I've shown, the thing will go into here. So obviously, this here, this is going to be the only slot around. But actually, what I found was a bit of an issue where had a block here, it would prefer this block over that block, which was a pain. So actually knowing the proper way to do this is quite useful. Okay. Right, let's try that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I think it tries to go here, and it can't. Detection system shulker F. I want to try and stick with the pressure plate, but this is going to be a challenge. So, problem with the you can't use pufferfish in this case because the arms stand too close. There was a really nice system that Dark came up with, which is, let me just find it. And then we can place a block here. I don't know. And let me just show you. Let me just grab this then. So what's a nice? Let's go chest minecart. Yeah, most useful item, right? Right, what's more useless than a chest minecart? What happens if this is gonna blow up stuff, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, okay, TNT minecart doesn't have enough mass. Let's find the minecart chest. You see, this will roll down to the bottom here. This doesn't interfere with shulker teleportation or anything like that. So when the shulker there, it pushes the minecart up, and then when it dies, it lets it roll back down. In practice, it seems like this is a little bit unreliable though. So one of the nice things is, unlike regular minecarts, chest minecarts are actually, they got a bit more health for some reason. Shulker centers, yeah, that would definitely help. So I might have to try that out at some point, but the problem with sculk centers is going to be so much noise. So realistically, you're going to have to come up with such a complicated system to try and get stuff perfectly. Yeah, so this system was found by Dark, so I can't claim any credit for that. But as I said, only issue of it is it seems to be slightly unreliable. But yeah, no, chest minecart as well is they've got slightly more HP, so they don't die to a single bullet, unlike regular minecarts, which is really annoying. Now let me try this then. Okay, that's interesting. I think better than doing thingy though. It's just too many variables there. In fact, see if we can catch this shulker, see where he's going. Okay, we didn't quite get that. What's 17? Yeah, okay. So it's here next. Interesting. So maybe that's why. Whoops. You recall. Let's just test this out again. Actually, which is it? The bottom block of the rail where it's gonna work out where it needs to be from. Yeah. Okay. So it is the bottom block. Just double check that. Okay. So it actually goes. Now the problem is this might be directional, in that it actually matters where you are facing rather than just, I guess, chiral versus, because it will favour the right hand side first or the left hand side, but that might depend on direction as well. Yeah, the summoning works as well. I think, I don't know. Yeah, it would be quite nice to have a what might be cool is a use the Sculpt Catalyst for when the shulkers die, so you can farm XP off them. Yeah, so if you joined recently, what I'm trying to do is work out exactly how minecarts eject, and I'm sure there's a very obvious guide for this, but I don't know, so let's just work it out on the fly. So, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to find a good way to eject the shulker into the system. So, at the moment, you have a space here. In fact, we can show this very easily. Oh no, I just killed my shulker. Yeah, even though this block is free, because it doesn't really see, it's still happy with. In fact, we can see this if we get into it. It's going to eject us onto the pressure plate. It's going to eject us onto the pressure plate, which is going to cause the shulker to teleport away. So here, if we want to use pressure plate detection, we need to make sure that it actually ejects onto this block here. Which might be alright now, actually. But anyway, so it looks like it goes in order of this block, 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 potentially, and let's just try the last one. And I believe it can go one or up or down, yeah, so okay, so it's that block there. And we try this one more time, I think this is gonna... Okay. Now that's interesting. Okay, so I think... Yeah, okay, so it goes up one, so... And then that one, that one. In fact, let's just demonstrate it. We'll leave that one. It's definitely going to go there. Yep. Now, this shulker is going to teleport away because the next one is going to be here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And it's a good way to... this should work. Okay. I think this should be fine now. Okay, so it went here. might need a block there. Yeah, okay, so I think it'll just plop it where it was. Right. So we see after this it will do the same pattern but one layer above. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think what Hexatron. I think you've explained it completely. What's taken me about 30 minutes to work out. Um, so now just to do the final bit of verification, what happens if we have stuff at that level? Oops. Now this is going to be the interesting thing. So does it prioritize a direction or a height? Okay, so it likes that height. Just to verify I can't go there, right. Okay, so it's height and direction, and it can go up to 2 blocks away. No, okay, it's just one. Should have called this a minecart stream. Send this to Talon, he can watch him. So okay, so it likes going up first. So a search at the same level, then it'll go one up and it'll go one down. Okay, brilliant. Let me just check the Discord quick. Oh yeah. Thanks, MD. Yeah, so MD's just basically sent what I've just been going on about. Oh, this is a nice resource. Right, okay. Now, so we wanted to prioritize this block here and not this block here. And it seems if you have a rail along here, anything that ejects here, this would be interesting to see. Does this... I've just destroyed my activator rail. Well, it's... Now that's annoying, see. So, problem is, this block here and this block here are both valid spots for the shulker to be ejected onto, despite the trapdoors being there. So I just want to check actually. Does that apply if it's... Okay. Now that is interesting. And this is one thing, other thing I wanted to try. What happens if you have a block above? Does it care? Okay, that's just weird. Has it teleported there? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't matter how much space there is as long as there's an air block. So trapdoors seem to not matter if they're on the ground there, but if they're on the side, they do matter. And does it matter if they're a top trapdoor? Now the other really annoying thing, which is there a good way to show? Yeah. They're like they will get dropped into the bottom of scaffolding. It's really annoying. I think that includes if. Oh, okay. So it's only supported scaffolding. They will sit on the top of the block, which I guess this makes sense actually. And yeah, the other weird thing is actually they will just ignore. Okay, I'm confused now. Oh, because they went there. Okay. Oh, it's trying to eject it here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, they won't get ejected onto the top of the scaffolding, which is a bit annoying. Just to the bottom of it. Although none of it's unsupported. Activated parallel to the armor stand. Yeah. So, I mean, you see the problem here is, but if this is closed, then it shouldn't be a problem, and this should be closed anyway. So they can't go there, and they can't go here. In fact, if we... they won't go on top of that. Try that. So they will... Yeah, okay, so we'll get on top of the trapdoor when it's like that. Not like that, okay, brilliant. So they did get ejected on something like this, but actually we have an activator rail here. And let me get my levers. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right. That didn't work. Where is he going? So we've seen he shouldn't go in this block, he shouldn't go on this block. Yeah, he should go here. Am I missing something? Yeah, if it's the same height, it will get out to the right always, as long as the block's free. So prioritize stuff at the same height. Then it will prioritize stuff at the block above. And by the way, it won't care if... Oh! Well, this is an easy fix, though. Actually, is it? That's okay. So in fact, I can use my... I don't know why I said my, it's not mine, but... And instead of doing it that way, which we don't want. Deep slate. Soul sand and lava. And I need something up here as well, actually. So it will prioritize going. Yeah, because it's going to go up. Can it go up one or two? I can't remember. Oh no, it's going to just put something there. So now why does that break again? Because it doesn't go over the end of the block, that's why. So in fact we need this too high, which is absolutely fine. Except I've run out of rails and things again. Yep. So these would actually be hoppers, but oh. So it's happy to sit on this, is it? Yeah, okay. So this doesn't count as a solid top surface for them to sit on usually, but they will get out on top of it. Up through this. That's interesting. The problem is if you shoot up into the cauldron, you want to. Plus, the shulker is going to be atop of the farm anyway, so it makes more sense to shoot them down. You're just sacrificing a hole in the farm. In fact, let's just see if we can protect that off. So there's no chance of any minecart escaping and getting broken. There would be a hole here. We do want to make sure that the this would all be blocked off to stop any bullets getting in there. Onto the curved rail, yes, I don't think we want a... Okay, let's see. Yeah, see they pop off here, so you need to have a hopper here. No, it's just a redesign for better rates. The other one works fine. Yeah, still that's still running there. And in fact, this is more for fun than anything, because honestly, I think a lot of the mechanics I'm using here are just more trouble than they're worth. And by the time you actually get into the level where you want that much rates, you might as well do the do it with portals anyway, because you can do all the same stuff with it, but you're not so constricted by overall rates. Oh, what, to just push it into a hopper? Yeah, I guess you could do that. I'm gonna do this for now, just this is the nice thing about this, it means I don't have to break that every time. But I do need to replace this. Okay, so Mr. Shulker, you should go there. Brilliant. Now that's quite nice. One thing I don't like, in fact this should still work fine even when that is open, although that should never happen. Is this gap here. Here's a straight path to the... So what you do is you make this into a... So when you're making golem chambers, by the way, you never want to leave a corner exposed, because those bullets, they can get through the gaps of pretty much anything. And actually this is probably not watertight, so I need to come up with a way of I don't think this one's actually needed. Yeah, they will find their way through. I think this is probably okay. I don't know what the hitbox of the cauldron looks like. But if they find like a corner like this, as I said, because the center, it only checks on the center of blocks. Actually, the the actual hitbox can clip through and actually kill the golems. So you need something that looks like this. How did I hit that through that? That was an amazing shot. And again, we want to protect the endermite, which I think this would be fine. But as I said, this is a gap straight to the golem. So I guess we could just do this. This work? This probably has to go up like that, but just need a block to stop that. I think what we'll end up doing is just dropping the shulker down through. Even if we don't use down excel, we can still drop it straight into the... Okay. Right. Okay, this is looking workable. And this can be pulled off both sides here. Yep, snow columns are complete failure. This is why I like the lava. It's just a nice way to do stuff. This might not even be safe. Though I think it is actually. No bullet can get through here, and actually even... I mean, stuff can hit the shulker in there, I think, but... You can just send off the minecart again. And actually, this can be all a bit more compact now, because it's broken in the cell. So actually, I can't remember if I had the idea to do it or not from seeing it, but Asher was using a system for breaking the minecart actually in the cell before, just because it saves so much problems, and it means that when you do get a broken minecart, well, the whole farm isn't broken. It's just a bit of pain. So one thing we do want to do though is something I've learned is quite nice to have. In fact, this doesn't need to be on this side. So what this system is what all I'm doing is when the minecart goes through, I'm making it act as though the pressure plate was hit. Oh, that's nice to know the bullets can't go. Okay. But so this system here, what it does is when the minecart comes through here, it's being picked up by this, and in fact we can show this. It's just kind of if the pressure plate has been hit, and what that avoids is the case where, let's say for some reason or another, or your minecart didn't pick up a shulker. That just means that your clock gets reset, and then it will try and go and collect another one. So there we go. So this is looking like a functional. And in fact, we've got to be careful here. So what if we don't have that block? Is that going to mess things up? Yes. So we need blocks here. So another thing that'd be nice to know is just what stops. This is the really strange thing. Actually, no, let's get fence gate as well. Now, for some reason, they will get ejected onto fences. I don't know why. Let's just put a fence gate here. I don't know if the same happens for fence gates. Because I thought I had a solution, because my earlier problem was the shulker would just get ejected here. My idea was just to do that and put a pressure plate on top, but actually they'd just get ejected onto that instead. No, that can't be. So all of this needs to be. This is the golem cell here. Now this would need to be simplified at some point because this is just kind of a mess. I mean, there's 3 trapdoors in there. And actually this trapdoor here, okay, this is going to be annoying because this is the trapdoor that we're going to activate when the restocking goes through. So when we've got like the whole. Fun? Oh yeah. So this is like we go to the previous design here. You see this detector rail? This is doing this. What happens when the minecart comes in? It will press this detector rail. Now this is actually doing 2 jobs. Number one, this is retracting this piston, so which is what allows the shulker to sit here and get pushed in. But number 2, you see this decay clock. But actually, we see this is powering this. And so what that means is that just resets it. So yeah, so we see the fingers part, and it just resets it just in case the shulker doesn't open or dies, or, before it even gets a chance to open properly. So that just makes the whole thing not break. Yeah. Now, that design is not the most elegant, but it's not the worst. But this is not looking very beautiful. But we'll fix it up at some point. So I just want to check. Oh, you do like to go on. But you won't go on the open one. So is it just anything? I am really confused. Is it just anything that's hitbox extends up? Is it going to be something weird like Soul Silent that can't get ejected onto? Oh, that's brilliant. Oh dear. Well, okay, so we know that doesn't work. So there does seem to be anything that... But then scaffolding as well. Scaffolding should work, so... Oh well. We've got something that works, that's all that matters. And yeah, you get to button all this up. It's brilliant. Now, at least the one nice thing about this is... In the previous design, because the shulker sits on this block, right here, that level, the conventional scaffolding layout I used, which by the way I don't use in the new design, in the reiteration of the Darks farm, just because it makes the floor layout a little bit worse in terms of getting stuff. But anyway, so this is the default because what you do is you have your unsupported scaffolding basing this layer, but because it's unsupported, they can't actually teleport one block up to it, because when they're at the same level, they'll see the unsupported, they'll still see the hitbox on the bottom, which is what allows them to teleport down there in the first place. So actually, you want to go one more layer of scaffolding, and then it's just the standard, floor pattern. So that's if they're that layer. Now, they're one layer down. Same thing, just, you know, one layer lower. Which we don't need this block anyway. Okay, that's perfect. So this wouldn't normally be here, I think. That... yeah, they'll go... Yeah, this is 2 up, so we don't need to worry about anything here. And anyway, this is all going to be filled in anyway. I mean, it doesn't need to be filled in, but might as well. But this means, yeah, we just need to button up this bottom layer here. Okay, so there'll be some wrangling of some redstone to make this all work. So when we've got the... So what we need is the decay clock and a dispenser to fire when the decay clock goes off, and then we also need a shulker detection system when the restocking happens. Which actually the third thing that this does is it closes this trapdoor. I'll talk about that. So we need to do all of those things, except what we want to do here is, because we want to have this for multi-celled, when we restock, we want to turn off this trapdoor. Actually, I wonder if there's this, we want to put that on this block, whether we want to power this block here. Rather than that one. Just because that one's easier to access. Yeah, so whenever we... In fact, this is probably safe for a single cell to drop the minecart down, because unlike my push design where the shulker will get pushed into the cell, the shulker will just teleport into the cell. So not teleport, but you know, it'll get ejected straight into the cell. But what we do want is basically when there's a shulker being replaced somewhere in the farm. Okay, we need to detect when shulkers are missing, so we'll have some sort of centralized decay. And also some sort of central lockout, so that when there's no shulkers in. The problem with the centralized lockout system is what happens is, if you basically just tie up the detector, so when any of the cells say there's no shulkers in, you just block off the cells, all the cells. Problem is you've got to, you can end up with a kind of like stable situation where all the cells are blocked and all the detection systems are off. Which actually I don't think it might not be a problem this farm, because in the last one you have the shulker facing down into pressure plate, yeah. So when the farm's idle, you're not getting any signal. But actually in this one, this is sorry, I was just thinking about redstone stuff. Yeah, this even when it's idle, this will periodically fire, so you will get a situation where all 4 cells will randomly coincide, and the thing will work again, which is nice. But yeah, there's some thinking to do about that. Okay, and then the lockout. So yeah, okay, so we can probably use this cell. So we're designing a new iteration of the shulker farm using the armor stands to protect the shulker on the side, and we've got some more interesting restocking where we just need to drop the shulker down this hole to restock the farm. So we get rid of this shulker. The nice thing about this detection as well is the downward detection. The shulker has to open all the way to actually press it, and that means it's a lot less reliable in terms of opening. Whereas the side-on, like, you know, the shulker can close for a bit, but actually it's, you know, a lot less likely to not hit the detector rail in a given time. But yeah, no, so we've got new cell design. Shulker gets pushed off. Maybe one without one in there. Now what was that? Was that just XP? Yeah, you want to... The problem is you want to... If you're doing a multi-cell setup, you want to test... You want to lock stuff down when any of the cells are empty. But you also need to, I guess, detect which... You only want to restock the cell that's actually empty. But actually you can probably get away with just restocking all the cells. Because you're probably likely going to have spare shulkers for each cell. So the new tech is just having the armor stand in front of the shulker here. And also, I've been thinking about how you can adapt the design to work with multi-cells around. So we've got basically what is a working cell, and honestly the main difficulty is just getting the minecart ejection working with what we've got. Just want to check one more thing. Yeah, minecart ejection can be quite strange sometimes. Okay. So I could start working on the redstone now, and you'll see my horrible sort of like 1.7 beta redstone. Like, I like the dust, and comparators are a new thing to me. Yeah, let's do that then. Let's see if this is direction. It shouldn't be, but now is there a nice way of doing the? I need to get used to using World Edit. Okay. Is that everything? Yes, it is. And kill the shulker in that. Okay. We can do this, can't we? Oh no, okay. Well, I'll do it the boring way. I don't have my keybind set up to make a memory only. Yeah, there's a lot of annoying things in Minecraft. I don't want that name. I want dumb cell sign. Okay. Let's go over here. Now, the main thing we want to do is mirror. Now, why hasn't that mirrored? Have I picked up the wrong... I think I picked up the wrong. There we go. I'm so worried now. Okay. Something fell down, don't know what it is. Oh, not the armor stand. Right. There's actually a few things that are worth checking here. Okay. Did I kill the previous one? I hope I did. Yeah, the bedrock mechanics are... The problem with the Java mechanics is they are slightly too difficult. And I think without scaffolding, you're kind of stuck with... the reactor system, I mean, the reactor system's nice, but you end up placing a lot of blocks. And the scaffolding's nice as well, but obviously the devs were anticipating that. So you're kind of left with portals, which are... I think there's a good reason people don't like porta farms. I think porta farms for shulkers are nice because there is other consideration around them, but there's not much room for innovation. Yeah, so the Java mechanics is the kind of it's too hard. Problem with the bedrock mechanics is it's just too easy. You can just get two shulkers next to each other and a golem, and not very interesting. And there have been some interesting designs, but it's a Discord server. Yeah, if you check in my um, in the video descriptions of any of my videos, or at least any of my recent ones, you'll see a invite to the NoobTech S&P Discord. So that's where you can, if you have any questions or anything, you can come and talk in there, or if you've just got general discussion. Um, so yeah, so I still need to go and... As I said, still need to go and try all the configurations for this. There we go. Yeah, I remember where all my silly stuff is in this world. There's so many random areas. In fact, I want to show that. The 364. I made this world in 1.17, so everything's at Y64, where I'd much prefer stuff to be Y0. But yeah, so this is my map, so to speak. So got the porter-based farm development, which I think is probably nothing too interesting. Scattering farms, that must be the new stuff. The problem is I don't remember what's actually in half of these things. Mob switch development, there's nothing there. Scaffolding reactor development. So I don't know if you guys remember my scaffolding reactor. And then scaffolding based farm dev, this is the main stuff. This is where I've moved for some development. Dark Star farm development. So this is where I was trying to supercharge Dark's farm, and then I did supercharge Dark's farm. And yeah, we're back to the scaffolding shuffling reactor. So this must be reactor dev. Oh yeah, this is so. The way I remember where everything is here is so this must be. Oh. So I look at the XYZ and just times that by 100. So this is the monstrosity. Okay, that's the shuffling going on, and then we can. Who developed this one? I can't remember who designed it. I can't remember if this was a hard design or if this was Ray's design. I think this was by hard. Where is Dark? I think he's just taking a break from Minecraft. Maybe one for quite a while. Yeah, supercharged portal farm it's yeah, keeping them alive is the difficulty. So you might want to try the scaffolding, where you know the scaffolding that Ian uses, that trick, or the signs where anyway, you can try and protect them with scaffolding, or you can try and use armor stands. But I think armor stands can be quite difficult. So one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing Nembom design, because he's got something using pistons, and it looks like it's quite an interesting way of doing things. So this is a reactor star setup where, and the point is the shulkers can see all these spots when they try and teleport, but actually by shuffling around you keep moving around until they end up in the actual killing chambers here. And actually, this could be made a lot more easy to build. And this is a horrible design in terms of, yeah. What's this? If I tick warp. about 3 MSPT, which is not the worst in the world, but you know it's only about 200 shells an hour or something. And given that even the worst scaffolding farms like 1.6 MSVT, so but it's fun. No, is there a good way to turn this off? Oh no, because if I do that. Okay, so I want to do this. There you go. No, actually. Oh, I'm so confused. I mean, he's going to take his head off that now. Oh, no, because that's locked, okay. Oh, yeah, let's go see the H-cell. I don't think it's on this world. No, it's not, but I've got it. This is the new farm where we've been putting it apart to do the tutorial. So this is basically Dark's design, which I've added the supercharging mechanics to. So it takes that up to about what is it? 730 or something shells now, a bit less than 750. Anyway, so one of the reasons I've been looking into tiling stuff is, as I said, currently the supercharged version doesn't really tile. But tiling, I think, is currently a bit more niche, but like you don't really have many options if you want to go something really large. And in fact, is this already in the world? Oh yeah. There we go. Let's just make sure we collect that one. Now, the problem with this is that I'm pretty sure there's basically zero server-side lag due to this farm. or rather not much more than anything else. But if you can see that it does cause quite a lot of client-side lag on my machine. But yeah, so this is what happens when you take um, 8. In fact, what is it? This is the 8 cell or is this the 16 cell? This is the 8 cell. So this is what happens if you take 8 regular shulker farms and tile them around a single collection system. And yeah, it is ridiculously big. So Asher designed this. So Asher was one of the people who, along with me and a few others, basically discovered and developed the first scaffolding style shulker farm. And so while we kind of gone our own ways a bit, this is the design that we're making for Titancraft. Yeah, and this is the 8 cell. So let's do this. So I presume it's all right to show off the other designs, Asher. Yeah, a little bit of stream delay there. Yeah, this is the thing that the Asher design pretty much entirely is basically, I'd say 90% Asher, and then I give a little bit of input on the layout. Let me just turn on the clip. And what this is actually it's not quite 16 full cells, breeding cells, because actually the wings here, this is quite interesting. This is basically, it's like a half cell, so it's only the shulker and no golem. And basically the shulker is then aggroed by social aggro. So this was a bit of an experiment, and to be fair, I don't know how much it boosts the rates. Let's see if I can turn this on the manual way. Yeah, I think all the redstone as well. Probably the dust actually probably is starting to get a bit laggy. It's probably not too bad though. As you can see, yeah, the frames do get a bit of a frame drop around here. But yeah, so 16 cells, all feeds up to the top, and if you want, you can come here and you can. Okay, maybe it's not working. Is it that one? And if the pressure plate, if the armor stand was here, what you can do is you hit the armor stand, and then you get sweeping edge on these shulkers, and basically you've got a manual grinder as well. And actually, the manual grinder actually does add a bit of complexity to the farm, because you've got to end up having all this holding chamber stuff so that the shulkers don't kill themselves while they're waiting to go up into the grinder, because they'll aggro on the player and start shooting. Yeah, the design is as a result. This is basically the tech that went into the original farm. So, like some of this stuff, I prefer now having the scaffolding, the trapdoors over scaffolding, which is the advantage is just being cheaper to build. But anyway, so the story behind this is basically that so this server Titancraft, which is actually Tango Tech's Patreon server, it's it's a bit of an insane server, really. So it is paper, but actually you wouldn't, you might have, especially what some people do. You might think it was practically a tech server in some regards. Anyway, so there is a strict 50 entity limit or rather 50 persistent entity limits in any given area. Yeah, this is not what was on a Titancraft. This is what's on Titancraft. Um, although uh, the one on Titancraft doesn't use sea lanterns, it uses emerald blocks. Um, and it doesn't use diorite, it uses copper. Um, and I think for me the craziest thing about the Titancraft build was that it was uh, um, basically built on week one. And anyway, the story behind this is of course you can get really nice rates out of supercharging, but if you want to get more rates out of supercharging, you're kind of limited to either doing crazy stuff or which is going to take you over the entity limit anyway, or just building multiple farms because they just don't stack together very well. Um, and multiple farms is fine, but I mean after you've even built like two of my basic design, you're going to go over the entity limit anyway. Um, and yeah, so basically supercharging is nice for build effort, but in terms of entities and sort of in terms of lag as well, although shulkers are pretty lag friendly when they're not trying to teleport around. Um, I think this farm is lagging my computer just because all the scaffolding is everywhere, but that's all client side, so that doesn't matter from the server side perspective. Um, so in fact, if you want to scale up the farm, um, this is what you've got to do basically. Is just get lots of simple units together and smash them together. And I think technically doing it with portals would have been slightly bit more lag efficient, but given that we discovered this scaffolding technology, I think it would have been wrong to not use it. And it is it is just one beast of a farm, and it's such a amazing build as well. Um, so yeah, look forward to next Titancraft server tour. I think this would probably not even be the most impressive thing. Like this is just going to be one of many impressive things you'll see on that server tour. But anyway, so this is the layout of the cells. Um, and I know Asher wants to do a video on this at some point. So um, do go check out Ash's channel because he does some. He mainly does live streaming at the moment. Um, yeah, it was about 4 months of designing. Because I think this and the raid farm is pretty much what you guys were doing in between the seasons, right? Um, but yeah, no, go check out Ash's channel. He does I really quite enjoyed his explanation of the farm, and he will be doing a video on this at some point. Uh, and so will I. I'll probably do a video, maybe not so much on. I'll go over this farm as well, but also talk about a bit about the whole general mechanics of sticking these farms together. So if you go. I mean, if you can just see him in the chat, and um, let me find it for you. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I've linked it as well. Sorry, just let me double check one more thing. Uh, sorry, thanks Hex. Anyway, okay, so it's been. I know this has been not long by stream things, but I was only planning to do about an hour and a half. So and I think I kind of run out of things I wanted to show. Um, so probably wrap things up here. But thanks you guys for dropping in, and yeah. So I'll see you. I'll probably again. I'll put a post up when I next think I might got something that I can design on stream because most stuff is pretty boring and I do waffle on and I'm still waffling on. But hope this was informative, even though it was mainly me trying to work out how Rails work. But hopefully you guys have now a bit of a better idea about how Rails work. I do actually feel like I've learned quite a lot. And yeah, until next time.